Hello everyone, I am Durga Saujanya, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, MLR Institute of Technology. I am going to give the video lectures for the subject Embedded System Design. Our today's topic is Internet Enabled Systems. So this is comes under Unit 5. And in the overview of today's session, we are going to discuss about the previous session. So in the previous session, we have discussed about CAN bus. CAN is nothing but controller area network. So here, what is the structure of the CAN bus? What are the elements presented in this CAN bus, which is bus interface unit and receiver address and sender address and the error checking. So what is the components present in the CAN bus and what is the protocol used for data transmission through the CAN bus and what is the data format of CAN bus. So here there are different fields are there. So first we are indicating with start bit and next the 12 bit which is arbitration field, which is used for indicating the address of the receiver, and next acknowledgement from the receiver, and next the data bits. After that, after sending the data, again acknowledgement from the receiver which indicates whether the data is received correctly or not. So now we need to perform the CRC, cyclic redundancy check, which indicates that if there is error in the received data or not. So after that we have the 7 bits of zeros indicating the end of the frame. So this is the format of CAN bus we have discussed in the previous session. Now in today's session we are going to discuss about the IP protocol and IP packet format. So here, so it is nothing but internet enabled system. So how can we provide internet enabled systems? So how can we transmit our data by using the internet provided systems for the embedded processors? So here whatever the processor we have designed for our application, so how can we provide data transmission and how can we achieve data communication between internet enabled systems? So till now in the previous sessions we have discussed about the I2C bus and CAN bus. So these are used for providing the data communication or data transmission between the devices using wide only. So that means using buses only. So we have I2C bus and CAN bus are there. Bus is nothing but a group of wires connected to provide the communication between two devices. So these are the wide transmission, and for the devices which are not having the internet capability. But if the internet is enabled, but if the internet is enabled for the systems or for the devices which are used for that processor, so then we can go for the internet protocol, so which is used for transferring data from one device to another device with the usage of internet, which is called as internet protocol. So internet protocol is the fundamental protocol which is used for data transmission through the internet. So it provides connectionless packet based communication. So it is an internetworking standard. So it will travel over different networks from source to destination. So it is a connectionless protocol. So that means there is no need of connecting any wires between two devices for using of this protocol. So this is an internet protocol and it is a connectionless protocol and it is used for transferring the data from source to destination over different networks. So it allows data to flow seamlessly through these networks from one end user to another end user. So next, this is the IP protocol. So it is used at the network layer of the OSI model. And when node A want to send data to node B, the application data pass through several layers of protocol stack to send to the IP. So here there are different layers are available in the OSI model. So that is physical layer, data link layer, transport layer, so network layer, and so on. So here when any device at node A want to send data to node B, so here this data will passing through several layers to send to the IP. So internet protocol. So this internet protocol is used for transferring the data between two devices using the internet. So when node A, so if this is the internet protocol, here if node A is a device used to transfer the data to node B by using this internet protocol. So first this data will pass through a number of layers to getting the internet protocol. So here this internet protocol will create a route for transferring the data from node A to node B. So here it can pass through the data link layer and physical layer. So therefore here it is. So first we have the physical layer, and next we have the data link layer, and next we have the network layer, and next we have the transport layer, and last we have the application layer. So this IP will use it to create a route for transferring a data from node A to node B through network layers only. So from node A device, from the network layer to the network layer of node B. So here from this network layer to network layer, we are transferring our information. So by using a configuration which is called as router. So this router will use it to provide a routing from one node to another node by using internet. So a node that transmits a data among different types of networks is known as router. So router is a device which is used for transferring data among different types of networks. Here from one network to another network, we are transferring the information. So the device which is used for transferring the information is router. Next one is IP packet format. Here this is the IP packet format. In this, the header and data payload are having the variable length, and the maximum total length of the header and data payload is 65,535. But so the maximum length is 0 to 65,535. But we can use variable length. We are not having any fixed length for the header and the data payload. So we are having the variable length. So an internet address is a number, so which is having the 32 bits in previous versions, but now we are having the 128 bits for providing the internet address. So this IP address is typically written in the format of in this way. So the IP address is having the format of, so this is the IP address format. So packets that do arrive may come out of order. This is known as best effort routing. So here, if the packets which are utilized correctly, which are not lost during the transmission. So when we are providing any routing, so which is used for utilizing all the packets correctly to this receiver and not losing any packets. So that is known as best effort routing. So since routes for data may change quickly with subsequent packets being routed along very different paths with different delays, the real-time performance can be hard to predict. Here, we are transferring the information from network to network using the router, so or using the internet. So therefore, the data may change very quickly with respect to the subsequent packet by packet transmission is to be happened from one network to another network. So therefore, the quick change anything occurred or any error occurred in between the data transmission, it severely affects the next coming packets. So therefore, the real-time performance is very hard to predict. So this is the IP packet format. So in this, so first we have to specify the version, in which version we are sending our packet. So there are different versions are there for IP, from IP to IPv6. So there are IPv3, IPv4, IPv5 and IPv6 also. So in which version we are transmitting our data. So the header length. So here we have already discussed that it is having the variable length, and what is the length of our header we have used, and the server type, and next the total length. So the total length is nothing but 65 to 535, and identification and the flags and fragment offset. Here this is all about the header format. So in this header format we are sending the source address. Source address is nothing but from the network from which we are sending our data. In our example, node A. So the destination address is node B. So options and padding is nothing but the extra bits we are adding for error checking. So those are known as padding bits. Padding bits are nothing but the error checking bits. So which are used with addition with the data to check the error at the receiver. So here this is the data which is the original data which is transmitted in the form of packets. So here for data also we are not having any fixed length. Both the data and the header both are having the variable length. And next, the transmission control protocol is also one type of internet protocol. So here it provides the connection oriented service, as we have discussed. IP is the internet protocol, is the connectionless protocol. Here another type of IP internet protocol is there, which is transmission control protocol. It provides the connection oriented protocol. So here connection oriented protocol. So and it uses the acknowledgement protocol to indicate the packets are arrived. So because many higher level services are built on top of TCP, so the best protocol is referred as either TCP or IP for transmission through network layer. So in modern days, we have number of protocols are to be there by using this TCP IP. So by using this IP configuration, so there are number of protocols are there like VoIP, so voice over protocol. So here in this example, we have seen the data will be transmitted in the form of packets. So it may be the text data or voice data or any other type of data. So if the data transmitted is voice, then we can use the VoIP, voice over internet protocol. So this is the example for this internet protocol. So here the relationship between IP and higher level internet services. So here using IP as the foundation, the TCP can be used to provide file transfer protocol. So here as we have discussed now, there are different types of internet protocols are there. So one is VoIP, which is the data will be transmitted in the form of voice, and FTP, which is the data is transmitted in the form of files. So file transfer protocol. And hypertext transport protocol. Hypertext transport protocol, that is the files or the files will be transmitted in the form of hypertext, that is through internet only. So the hypertext language will be used for transferring the information or data. So for World Wide Web Service, simple mail transfer protocol. So another protocol is simple mail transfer protocol. Sorry. SMTP, right? Simple mail transfer protocol and Telnet. So Telnet is the service used for designing this IP protocol. So a separate protocol, we have another type of protocol using IP, which is UDP. So UDP is the user datagram protocol, which is used for transferring the data in the form of packets. So it is used as a basis for network management service, a simple network management protocol. Here this UDP is also connectionless protocol. So it is called as a simple network management protocol. So here we have the acknowledgement for receiving the data also. Therefore, it is a simple protocol for networking protocol. So the internet provides a standard way for an embedded system to connect with other devices and with users. Here, one of the earliest internet-enabled embedded system is laser printer. So the earliest embedded system which is used for internet-enabled embedded system is laser printer. Higher end laser printers uses the IP to receive the print jobs from host machines. Here, so till now we have discussed the IP packet format and the IP layer uses in data transmission. So here the application of this IP data transmission is the high-end laser printers which are used to print the jobs from host machines. The portable internet devices can display web pages, read emails and synchronize calendar information with remote computers. So these are done by the portable internet devices. So these portable internet devices and this internet enabled laser printers. These are the two examples for the embedded systems which are having the internet enabled embedded systems. Internet enabled embedded systems. So another example is a home control system which allows any person in the home to control either their their monitor remotely or control any home cameras, lights and so on. That is home automation. So this is the application of home automation which is connected remotely through internet. So there are higher level services that provide more time sensitivity delivery mechanisms for the internet, but the basic operation of the internet is hard real-time operations. So when we have used the hard real-time operations, we need to maintain strict deadlines so that more time sensitivity mechanisms are to be used for hard real-time operations. So by using the internet. So here IP is a very good way for the embedded systems to use in for hard real-time operations. So IP provides a way for the special purpose and standard programs in dealing with the embedded systems. So this non-real-time interaction can be used to monitor the system for its configuration and interaction with other devices. Here, so these are all known as the applications of IP protocol for providing internet enabled embedded systems. So here the examples or the applications are, one is laser printer, so another one is home automation systems. So we can use this for hard real-time systems. And web browsers and monitors. So these are all the applications for internet enabled embedded systems. So in this session, first we have discussed the summary of previous session. So in the previous session we have discussed about the CAN bus. So what is the structure of CAN bus and what is the data format of CAN bus and what is the CAN bus protocol. So what are the different fields specified by the CAN bus protocol. So in this session we have discussed about the IP protocol. IP protocol is nothing but internet protocol, so which is used for transferring or transmission of data between two devices using the internet. So the IP packet format, how can we transmit the data by using the IP protocol. Here in this IP protocol, so we need to indicate, so the sender address, the source address, which is nothing but the sender address, the sending device address and the destination address and the data. So here this IP protocol will transmit the data in the form of packets. So it first converts the entire data in the form of bits into the packets, and then it transmits the data in the form of packets through the internet. So there are different types of internet protocols are there. So like HTMP, SMTP, UDP, TCP and file transfer protocol. So these are all different types of protocols used with the internet protocol. So this is about the present session. Thank you.